Okie dokie. Hi, I'm Zach. I tried to make a video on my computer. It didn't work out too well because my computer makes a buzzing noise, which is really annoying. You couldn't hear anything. It's really frustrating because it was like 40 minutes long and I had 5 whole people front and it was really cool. It was really raw in the moment. But I'll do it again anyways because that's who I am. Anyways, hi, I'm Zach. As I said, I am 17. I'm trans, so female to male. I have DIT, which is what I'll be going over in this a little bit. I'm not really going to go too much into what DID is right now. Rather, I'm going to introduce you to a good handful of them that are most active, including Adrian Agrest, Elle Elliott, Elliot, Light Yagami, Beyond Birthday. Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. We have a lot of fictives here. In the last video, Adrian explained it, but I'll explain it myself here. They're each formed because of traumas I experienced, and they were during times where I was very into fictional characters. As such, I have multiple Elle and Beyond alters, because Death Note, specifically Elle and Beyond, were very big comfort characters for me while the traumas were happening. I have 7, I think, Elle alters and 6 Beyonds. Most of them are pretty two-dimensional, as Adrian said in the last video. But there are some, like Elle, Panda, and Elliot, or B, that are very much their own person, have their own feelings and personalities, and are much less of a two-dimensional figment of a character that was only needed temporarily. They're the only 2 characters that I have multiples of, as of right now anyways. There's always room for more to show up. My newest alter was Adrian from Miraculous Ladybug, as that is one of my newer interests, and I absolutely adore Adrian, and he came to be. I have a lot of mental disorders that I myself have and nobody else really deals with. As the core and current host, my responsibilities are just getting through the day with the mental disorders I have, whereas the alters I have serve more as help for the emotions that I can't exactly take care of by myself, dealing with all the other mental things that I'm dealing with. I am diagnosed with bipolar and generalized anxiety and depression. I am in a little bit of a high point right now, and I am very grateful for it. I also suspect I have NPD due to certain mindsets that were set into me as a kid, though I've heard that bipolar has a little bit to do with things like that, so it's not diagnosed, it's just a suspicion on my end, and I can't say that it's set in stone. There are some alters that also deal with a little bit of mental things. B has BPD, or borderline personality disorder. He feels everything absolutely 100%, latches onto someone, and like the second they do something wrong, just completely throws them away. Elle has a little bit of anxiety. Light deals with a lot of depression, things like that that I couldn't take at full force, are a little bit split up in other alters. I think maybe Adrian might be given my abandonment issues. We'll see. He says, oh joy. Anyways, now that it's about 5 minutes in and you know a little bit about me, a little smidgen about my alters, I think you should meet them. So I'm going to get Adrian, and Adrian will talk a little bit about himself, likely drag McDonald's, and we'll go from there. Okay, sorry. We didn't know if you should pause when we switch. We might do that next. The next time we do that, just because it does occasionally take a lot of time. Not usually too much, but you don't need to see us switch every time. That's a little awkward. Usually there's just some deep breathing or moving of the body to make sure that we're here. Anyways, I'm Adrian. For the past 3 days, almost 4, I have been fronting almost continuously. Zachary has made his own appearances every once in a while, but it's usually been me, which is very rare for us. I've only been here for a week, but from Zachary and everybody else, I've heard that it is absolutely unheard of for somebody to front longer than a couple hours without Zachary taking over. He has a little bit of a fear of leaving front because he's afraid that others won't like his alters. Elle and Elliot, in particular, are known for making a lot of accidental enemies, so he usually doesn't let them front for very long if he can help it. But I'm here, and people like me, and so he's much more comfortable, which isn't a drag or any kind of thing like that to Elle or Elliot, rather just why I think I'm around a lot. Though, since I've been around so much and I haven't had any experiences with Zachary's personality leaking into my own, as others have reported, Zachary has wondered if I'm supposed to be the next host, which is absolutely possible, and I would not back down from such a thing, but we're not 100% sure if that's the case. School is coming up soon, and we're trying to figure out how to organize all of that. But for the most part, I think of anything, I'll be a sort of co-host, where Zachary will front the most and I'll be the second most around. I was taken to get our nails done today, and they have kitty paws on them, but you can't see them very well. Oh, there you go. Now I have a cat watch. So I'm slowly building up things that are my own. Most others don't do that. Elle has been here almost the longest out of all of us, and I don't think he owns a single thing of his own. He's bought Zachary things. Since this is on a tablet, I can show you. He bought Zachary a lion for Valentine's Day because they are very much in love. Can I switch? No, I can't. Okay. Well, that's okay. He bought a lion. It's really cute. He usually buys things for Zachary rather than himself because he's hopelessly in love with Zachary, and it's returned. But he doesn't really own much of anything. Elliot, however, has an entire, oh boy, this is a mess. An entire drawer, of things he has or has collected and claimed as his own. Let's see if anything will show. He has this drawer. He has a letter and some play handcuffs. They're play, I promise. Everything in here is probably from a Halloween store, including the hat. He has a pin-up thing over here that he loves very dearly. You can't really see it, though, because it's very dark over here. He loves everything of his own, and is the one that really experiences dysphoria and uncomfortable feelings with the body and how we present ourselves. Very big on individuality. I'm a little big on it. I don't mind how we present ourselves. I just enjoy expressing myself in a way that's comfortable to me. We'll go into that another time. I don't like McDonald's, which has been mentioned by Zachary, and I won't go into it too much, but their food is really bad, and so is Chef Boyardee. To me, Zachary loves both of them, and I have not really found anything that I've really liked, except for vanilla ice cream that was from a carton, not from McDonald's. So it's been difficult, and eating is sort of a chore to me because it's not all that great. But I don't know. I think McDonald's is the lowest of the low for standards, and everybody kind of laughs at me because I'm a French rich boy and I don't really enjoy this kind of food, And I guess it kind of shows the privilege I experienced, and it's really, really strange when Zachary absolutely loves a thing and then I'll come forward expecting to also like it, and I very much don't. It's a little frightening because I have to make all of my own decisions in what I do and don't like, and for the most part, the other alters haven't really had to deal with anything like that. There have been things that they prefer over another thing, but it's not usually like they don't like it or they can't stand it or they have like this really strong opinion on it, whereas I most definitely do. So it's been funny and interesting to experience these things and have a laugh with everyone. But I very much do not like McDonald's. I have tried a nice little array of things with C, which is one of Zachary's closest friends, and she got to witness me go through the five stages of grief with one bite of burger. It was stressful. I think that's all about me. I keep looking around the room for something to spark an idea, because Zachary does that, and it usually works, so. But I think that's all, and I'm going to get Elliot now, so give us just a moment.
I have this really extreme need to just put my fucking hat on, but that's a little too much.
There are things that you do to differentiate yourself, and then there are things that are just plain ass unnecessary. And I think the hat is a little unnecessary right now. We look damn good in it, though. Anyways, I'm Elliot. I'm technically an Elle fictive, but my entire life as Elle was very different from the show, or the anime, or whatever you want to call it. My life was based off of fan fiction that was way more complicated than it needed to be, but a really damn good one too. We never finished it because Zachary couldn't take all the emotions it gave him, but that's where I'm from. And in the fic, they called me Elliot sometimes to kind of separate the fake persona I was putting on from who I was, and it kind of stuck. I came into the headspace and they were like, oh my god, another Elle, cool. What should we call you? Like, we need nicknames. And then Elliot, and at first I was kind of like, well, nobody's gonna like know who the fuck I am, and it was a little like pulling at my identity a little bit, and that's already fragile as fuck. But eventually I came to acknowledge it and just accept that I was a person and I don't have to be just a fictive. I can be more than that. And here I am, making progress. I think Zachary this time talked about my lack of identity. No, it was still Adrian, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm the one that experiences most of the dysphoria, and whether or not Zachary ever really felt super dysphoric or not isn't really known. Zachary himself says he may have only really felt it when he was 15 and first accepting that he was a guy, but here I am. I cannot stand doing things like showering or going to the bathroom or barely anything. I barely like pictures and shit because I don't look like myself and it doesn't sit right with me. Nobody else deals with this. It's just a me thing. Elle1 doesn't care what we look like. Nobody else really identifies with the body. And for some reason, I have this big ass stick up my ass that grinds me whenever I know what we are, I guess, what we look like, anything like that. I don't sound right. I don't look right. I'm definitely not the fucking right height. I am not 5'3". Thank you. And it can get really frustrating. In the other video, I started going off about family because I fucking love my mom and dad, who are not my blood mom and dad, because I'm an alter, and that's not technically a thing anyways, unless we're all blood related to Zachary's family, but with the way we see things, I think it's better that we're not. But when did I must have come during a time when Zachary was a little dysphoric and not on the best terms with his parents, his grandma, and maybe his mom, which isn't uncommon, the family part anyways. But unlike everyone else, I don't really remember why I'm here. Like, I don't know what caused me to be here. B knows, L1 has an idea of what might have caused it. Adrian has more reason to be here than any of us. Like, being actually fucking real right now. He has solid, concrete reason to be here that's way more intense than any of ours. I just showed up one day, as far as I know. Maybe he was stressing about school or something. I don't fucking know. But I'm here, and he fucking loves me, so I guess what's it matter? I don't have any special story to tell about how I got here. I just know one day he was reading the fan fiction, and I was like, yo, and he was like, OMG, and shit happened. What else can you say, you know? Last time I got L out here, I wonder if I can do it again. He might not come back this time, because he had a hell of a time last time, but I think I can get him.
I apologize for all the cuts and different camera angles, but it is not uncommon for us to be uncomfortable sitting in one way for more than a couple minutes. And with the switch, we all enjoy sitting different ways. It's unnecessarily complicated. Anyways, I'm L, also referred to as L1, since I was the first L to appear in this system. I very much do not like the camera, or any sort of performance, and we suspect this is due to me coming before a big choir concert of Zachary's that seems to have caused him some kind of stress, and here I am. I am the second, but also third, altar to appear, and that's because the first one was technically a Levi or Levi, depending on how you say it, fictive from Attack on Titan, that didn't actually do anything an altar would do, rather his presence was felt, and then he left for about a year. Then Celti came, Celti came before and after me. I came in a bit of a dream after Levi, and then never returned. And then Celti came as the official first altar with a consistent presence that got Zachary to look into it, and she eased him into it, and eased him into the existence of not only herself, but of us as well. And then I came back shortly after. The entire beginning order is very muddled and very unorganized, but the technical order would be Levi, me, Celti, me, a bunch of others, and then Levi again. We have about 100 or more altars right now. A lot of them are more two-dimensional, meaning they came during a time Zachary needed them for a single thing, and then have been dormant or in headspace for however long because they're just simply not needed, or they won't come around, or they simply can't come around. I think Monica is a bit like this. She's a Doki Doki Literature Club fictive who came when Zachary could not perform for one reason or another. I don't exactly remember, but something was going on, and I think he ended up having an anxiety attack or didn't have energy or something similar, and Monica fronted because he was not able to do what he needed to. And at the time, she was very insistent on fronting and being like a host, or even integrating into Zachary so that she could also have a life. But after Zachary took back over, she was basically never heard from again. We know where she is. She's the equivalent to sleeping right now, or maybe even comatose, but she's never around. It is a little bit surprising that Adrian is still around, considering it is very rare for Zachary's newer alters to stay around. He is very prone to getting new alters that will be there for a day or two to comfort him in a simple situation, and then never being heard from again. So it was a pleasant surprise that Adrian was the very opposite of this, and may in fact be another host in our system. As for myself, I am the protector of the system and have been for the entirety of my visit. I was a protector when I came, and I will hopefully, be a protector when I leave, which won't be, hopefully, for a very long time. Zachary means more to me than anything in the world could ever mean to me, and his health is my number one priority, and I will do anything to keep it, which often makes me the bad guy in many situations, but I've learned to live with it. I won't go on as long as I did in the last video, because I really would prefer not to be on camera as long as I was in the last video. So, be with the one I had last time. Guys, I get to be in a video twice. This is so great. I mean, the last one you didn't see, and you won't ever see because you couldn't hear it, but... Wait, are we covering the microphone? I really hope not. Can you guys hear us? I really hope so. I hope you can hear us. We're very interesting, I promise. Anyways, hi, I'm B. You don't know me, and not a lot of people do, which is a huge loss, but, I'm a Beyond birthday fictive, the very first one, if I may brag. I have a lot of energy, and I have been compared to a dog by C, who happens to be my FP, or favorite person, and that's a BPD thing, and I think Zach went over that. I came because Elle and Zachary had this big fight, and it was like one of their only ones. They don't fight very often, if at all. And I was kind of the cause and the solution. It was really weird. There was jealousy, there was breakdowns, there was a lot, and then there was me, and everything got better eventually. It is like 11:30, so I'm really tired. Maybe it's almost midnight. I don't know. I haven't checked. I just know it's late, and we're making another video. I'm trying to think of what I said in the last one. I know I talked about not liking ice rinks. Oh my gosh, that's because that's the last time I fronted. Well, besides the last video. I fronted last at an ice skating rink in the winter. It has been months since I've been out. I usually come when called. I'm very, very easy to get a hold of, but, like, they never call me. And even if they were to, I'd probably stop fronting pretty quickly because things bore me really fast. So, like, I got really excited because, we're making a video, and L1 was like, somebody got a front because I don't want to be here anymore. And I was like, on it. So I fronted in a surprise attack, and Zachary was like, oh my gosh, we have to do that again, or something. Except this time it's, like, planned. We kind of have an order now because we did it last time. So after me is going to be Light, and then he's going to be all like, this video is really long, so I'm going to end it now. Except now it's not at the 30-minute mark. We've shaved a whole 10 minutes off of this. Isn't that great? You're lucky. I don't know what else to say about myself. That was really fast. Zach's my mom. He's my mom. Elle's my dad. It's really weird. I technically have 20 siblings because Zachary adopts, like, everyone. If he doesn't love you romantically, he'll probably love you as a mom, and that's kind of what happened to me and a lot of the other alters. Somebody's downstairs opening a door. That's pretty weird because it's probably Jean. Yeah, it's Jean. She's probably going to the bathroom. Anyways, I don't really know what else to say, so I'm gonna go with Light now. At the very least, I can be proud of us for shaving so much time off of this video. If you were to have gotten the original video, it would have been at the 40-minute mark by now, because we all seem to really like to talk. I, however, will spare you from too many details.
and will simply introduce myself, say what I do, and give you back to Zachary. Unless he has somebody else that wants to front. Anyways, I'm Light. I am a Death Note fictive, as you've probably gathered or have been told. My job is to be the emotional help to Zachary when things just become a little too much, while other alters are very much similar. They don't exactly do things the way I do. Sometimes Zachary has moments where he cannot work things out himself emotionally, and even being around Elle doesn't calm him down, which is rare, but does happen. In those cases, it's my job to start talking through things and making him feel stable again. It isn't very common. It used to be more so, but it isn't now, which is a good thing, but a little bit of a bad thing on my end because I'm not around very much, despite wanting to be. The only real thing that's keeping me around very often and not in a comatose state like others is Zachary's kin dad, who messages me sometimes directly. Zachary cares very deeply, and none of this is done out of malice, but he's also very distracted with the world and with everything going on almost all the time. It's very difficult for him to make time not only to come to Headspace, but to go out and find others that aren't in the direct location he is. I would be in the same room he is, but unfortunately for me, 2 of the people I cannot stand are with him at all times, and I would much rather not have to share a bed with them, no matter the reward. And so I stay in my room for the most part and interact with Zachary through what they call the void, I suppose, where we're not really together, but we talk to each other through our minds and our thoughts. Or Zachary will come visit me and we'll talk a little bit or something, even though he is very distracted, even when doing such. I don't believe there's anything else to say on my end, so I will get Zachary. Okie dokie. Let's hope that you can, hear this one, that there aren't really any problems, because the last one, it was long, but it was, really raw. We were, throwing out random people. They had no preparation. They had no idea what they were going to talk about. So it was, really organic. But this time, they had, kind of a game plan. They were okay, maybe I shouldn't talk so much about this and go on more about this. Keep it kind of short and simple, what's important, what's not, la-di-da-da-da. So it was, in my opinion, a little more boring because I love hearing about random things that happen. Tell me about that weird choir concert that caused you to front, or tell me more about Monica, or whatever. I don't know. I just love hearing details. But, I think Light's right. Cutting off a nice 10 minutes of this video was good for us. Anyways, I guess I'll get to posting this so my friends can see, and maybe others can see. And if there are any questions, or the desire to see someone make their own video, tell us. Because I would absolutely love for my alters to get more of a chance to, communicate with the world. And there are much more than what you've seen, but those are the active ones. I could say, oh, I have a Shizuo headmate. He's from the rah rah rah. And you would be like, oh my god, I love Shizuo. Make him have a video or whatever. And it would be really hard for me to, get in touch with him. So, I guess, pick from the ones you've seen. I'm trying to think of any others. Panda's kind of active, and if you wanted to know any more about him, you could ask. Monica, we know where she is, so we might be able to get her. But other than that, they're kind of So that's all. Hit us up, I guess. Bye.